Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer, and I've seen a lot of reviewers and people posting comments and reviews on the beers that's done by Hoof Brewing. I cannot get their beers, and my brother Rico was able to get his hands on these. He probably traded somebody something for this, because these guys are out of Ohio, Marengo, Ohio. Let's see what he sent on this. Hoof-hearted rollerblade. Yes, he said he traded for this. Sold in 4 packs at the brewery. They put stickers on the plastic toppers with the canning date, but my trader did not include it. He told me the sticker said it was canned on December 29th of 2016, and today is the 19th of January, so it's less than a month old. About 3 weeks old. 8% double IPA with 103 IBUs, bodaciously dry hop with Mosaic, Simcoe, and Galaxy hops. Sounds pretty tasty. A lot of people are clamoring over these unfiltered juice bombs type beers that these guys are doing. And a lot of the New England, they're calling them New England style, these orange juice or grapefruit juice in a glass looking beers, and they are freaking awesome, my friends. And even some West Coast breweries now are starting to do these style of beers, and it's different than an unfiltered. I don't know how they're doing these orange juicy looking beers, but they are, and they are freaking awesome usually. So I hadn't been able to get my hands on any of these, and my brother took care of me. Rico, thanks again, my friend, my brother. I do appreciate all you do for me. You're an awesome friend, a brother, and I'm glad you got to come down and spend the weekend with me, and looking forward for you to come back again. We had a large time, guys, and I took him to a brewery around here, and I took him over to see Martin and the guys over there, and we had a large time. Good dude, really good dude. This is their Imperial version, or a double IPA. Says here, commercial description: slurp up the neon. One sniff and you'll be painted in animal print spandex and sporting a side ponytail, and that's just the guys. Ready yourself for the taste of your fanny pack and get sucked into the tape deck. Bodaciously dry hop with dank and fruity combo of Mosaic, Simcoe, and Galaxy hops brewed under the watchful eye of A.C. Slater and Lisa Turtle. John and Cindy from the Daily Growler. So, really looking forward. He brought me 2 different versions, this one and another one. I know this is probably going to be a damn tasty beer. But if it's not, I'm going to tell you it's not. But if it is, I'm going to tell you that it is. So, really looking forward to trying something from Hoof Hearted, because there's a lot of people saying they're doing some pretty damn tasty stuff. So, that's all we need to talk about there. So while I get to, and this is a 16-ounce can, and a lot of these guys do these plain Jane silver cans with a stick-on wraparound label that tells me that they're putting their money in what's inside the package than spending a lot of money on fancy graphic colored cans. So that's a good thing. That is a good thing to me. Just get a silver can, throw a wrapper on it, and spend your money on what you're putting in the can. So, I would like to see them do a dating on the bottom of it, but they're selling, according to him, they're selling at the breweries, and they're more than likely selling everything that they can produce, just like Treehouse and Trillium and a lot of the other ones are doing. They don't do a distribution. You have to go there to get it, and that way they know everybody's getting something fresh. So, And that's a good thing for the people that live close to the brewery or visit the brewery. But for people that's trying to get their hands on it that's not close to the brewery, it's a bad thing because we can't get it. But it is what it is, and they know that they're getting fresh beer. So I'd much rather do that and than to be doing something where you're getting a beer like the one we had yesterday from Trogs that they're giving it a 6, 7, 8 month shelf life on, instead of putting a canned on or a bottled on date on that crap. Not a fan of that, guys. I'm really not. So while I get the can opened up here, I will tell you, cuisine is barbecue. The cheeses are pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blues, cheddar. Your stronger cheeses, they don't look too cloudy, but it may change as I get the rest of it in there. Gorgonzola Limburger, meat, game, grilled meat, salmon. And the glassware is a Tuller snipped up oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter. And then, of course, since it's an 8%er here, they're saying it can be cellared, but I would not do that. You will regret it, trust me. With that pour, about a finger and a half of head. I mean, it filled the glass up. And it does, it's very cloudy, but I can see a little bit of light through the bottom. I mean, it's not your typical all juicy looking orange juice in the glass. There is a little bit of light coming through the bottom of the glass. So it is an unfiltered beer, but I don't know if it's going to be a juice bomb like the guys at Trillium and Treehouse and now some of the other ones are doing. So we shall see. We shall see. Rico, thanks again, my brother. Let's get a nose on it. Oh, it's got an awesome smell. Awesome. And something that's like 3 weeks old. Wow. Grapefruit. Very citrusy. Pineapple. Tropical fruit notes. Mango. Hints of oranges. Maybe some passion fruit or something in there. Wow, smells very, very citrusy on the nose, guys. Wow, it smells awesome. It smells freaking awesome. And if you're not looking at the bottom of the glass where my hand is, man, that looks a lot like orange juice in the glass. Not quite as cloudy as some of them are. I mean, some of them are just orange juice from top to bottom, but I can see a little light through the bottom of the glass here. So let's dive in and see what we got. Cheers. I appreciate Rico sending these wonderful, awesome beers. Cheers, my brother. Oh yeah, that is freaking delicious. Wow. And for somebody like Rico to trade for beers, then send them to me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, this guy. And when he was down here, I'm saying, well, how was that beer? Well, I ain't had any. I sent them to you. Come on, my brother. I mean, I'm just blown away when he does stuff like that. And I'll ask him, what did you think of it? Well, I didn't have any. I sent them to you. Well, that's fine if you're going and buying them. They're available to you. You can buy more. But when you're trading somebody for something like this, and you don't even keep one or try one and send them to me, that blows me away. That's unbelievable. I'm beside myself humble to have subscribers and friends and brothers like Rico that do crazy shit like that. He's a very generous soul. So, Rico, well, don't know what to say, my friend. This is awesome, guys. This is really a tasty beer. And when I get these beers like this and I taste them, I see why everybody's clamoring over these and wanting to trade 3, 4, 5, 6 beers for one of these or 2 of these. You can understand why. When they're this fresh and they're this tasty, this style of beer, these New England styles or whatever, these super unfiltered, cloudy type beers, will become the norm for a lot of breweries because they have so much taste and so much hop presence. And so fresh on top of that when they're only distributed from the brewery. Well, like I said, it was bad for us because we can't get them unless you live close to the brewery, but For the guys that live close to it and people that travel to the brewery, it's an awesome thing when you can go in there and buy a beer that's 1 or 2 days old. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. Did I say wow? Wow. Well, let me sip on it and let her have a taste or 2 or 3, and I'll have to pry it out of her hand and get it back. And we'll sip on it for just a little bit and come back and see where it ends up, but I'm pretty damn impressed right now. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. And like I tell you guys all the time, beer tastes are subjective. If I'd have probably reviewed this beer 5 or 6 years ago, I may not have been unimpressed. It may have blew my palate out of my mouth. And I used to not be a big fan of these big, cloudy, unfiltered beers. But I am now. I can handle them. They taste exceptionally well made to me. They have a lot of flavor to them. Just not a fan of the filtered beers that have a lot of coagulation or big chunks or a lot of floaties in those beers. These beers do not. They're well done. There's not a big sediment to the bottom of them. That's another reason why the Alchemist, the heady topper, tells you to drink it out of the can, because if you pour it in a glass, it's got a bunch of stuff floating around in it. Stuff that's not probably going to hurt you, but they don't want you to see that. They want you to drink it out of the can, and I never do that, guys. I don't drink beer out of the bottle unless I'm out at a party somewhere, and usually I'll have a glass or a cup to pour it with me. I carry stuff like that with me where I can pour it into the glass, release the carbonation, and all that kind of stuff. So very rarely you'll see this guy drinking a beer out of the can or out of the bottle without pouring it into a glass or a cup or something. But these guys that do this New England style, I keep doing this, that's becoming a new style of beer, where they do these unfiltered beers and they're juice bombs. They look like grapefruit or orange juice in the glass, and they have a lot of flavor, a lot of taste, a lot of hop presence. They're very well done. And like I said earlier, the West Coast guys are picking up on this, and some of them are even starting to do it. And these guys are out of Ohio. They're not New England, and they're doing it. So it's becoming a more popular version of IPAs and double IPAs nowadays. And some of these guys are doing it extremely well. They have a whole lot of flavor. Probably not something if you're just getting into IPAs or double IPAs. Maybe you can. And where your palate can handle it. It may be too hoppy or too juicy or whatever, too something. But me, at this stage of the game with the beers that I've had over the last 6 years and tasted and reviewed, and with everything else that I've tasted over the years, all the imported beers that I used to drink before I got into craft beer and all that kind of stuff, there are so many beers out there that are made so well and have so much flavor and taste and aromas. And most of them are ales, stouts, porters, and IPAs and double IPAs and some of that stuff, that the lagers just don't bring a lot to the table for me. And I will say that there are some IPLs, India Pale Lagers, that are stepping up to the plate and are very tasty. I like these hop forward versions of the lagers. It's something a little different and a little tastier to me than the typical grassy, grainy, adjunct style lagers that just don't do it for me anymore. I've drank enough of that in my lifetime to float a battleship around. I've told you that, guys, many times, but the lagers just don't do it for me. I want something with a lot of taste. It doesn't have to be an IPA, and I like a lot of the Hefeweizens and stuff, and the wheat beers and stuff like that. Not something I want to drink all the time or every day, but they are a nice change up for their style, and some of them are very well made, especially the ones coming out of Germany and some of the other places that have been brewing beers for several hundred years. They got it right. And a lot of the Trappist monks that are brewing beers, some of those are awesomely well made. As a matter of fact, Rico brought me in another West Berlin 12 to me, and those beers are awesome. They're very hard to get unless you're over there and can get those. There are some tasty beers that are being produced, guys, all around the world. So anytime you get your chance to try something else or something from those areas, by golly, do it. You more than likely won't be disappointed. So, but with this beer, Hoof-hearted, A lot of guys are clamoring over to get their hands on these beers, and I was one of them. Could not get them, and Nova has sent them to me before. Rico actually traded for the ones he sent me. So, unbelievable guy. Rico, I don't know what to say, my friend. You are awesome. You're awesome, sir. This is a very, very tasty beer. Got a lot of juicy, pineapple-y, grapefruity taste. Incredible beer. Very nice. Let's do the final chug. And a lot of these beers that are done only at the brewery, Trillium and Treehouse and some of the others, and Hoof-Hearted, they don't worry too much about the dating because everything's balled up right there. They do put a sticker on the 4-pack or whatever, but they don't do each individual one. They probably put one on there, and you know that 4-pack was done that time. I didn't get the flap, or Rico didn't get the one that had the date on it or anything. I would like to see something printed on the can. That's just me. That's just my OCD. But when they're selling everything they produce and it's done at the brewery, it doesn't go to distribution or it's on the shelf or you don't know, I can see why they do that. They don't worry about it. They sell everything they produce. And it's sold right there and it doesn't go to the stores. So I can understand why they do that. But just me, I'd like to see a date on it. So. And maybe, you know, some of these breweries are expanding, getting bigger, and they may get into distribution for too long if they start producing enough of it. And we need to see a date on the bottom of their cans if they're going to do that. But that's the only reason why I would not give this beer a 10. But it is so damn close. It is a 9+ beer. 99 out of 100 for me, guys. It is an A beer. It is very, very tasty. And I got another Hoof-Hearted beer in there to review for you guys. That may come tomorrow or the next day, sometime soon, because I like to drink these beers fresh, especially when they're less than a month old. I want to get to them, and especially they're the New England style like this is, and those guys do some tasty beers. I want to taste it as fresh as possible. So with that being said, if you've had this one from them, this is their Hoof-Hearted Roller Blabe. Not Rollerblade, but Blabe, B-L-A-B-E. And nice graphics on the little stick-on label they put on there. Got a big pair of skates, rollerblade skates on there, and got a girl in a bikini sitting on top of it. Very nice. Very nice graphics. And they don't spend a lot of money producing a can that's got all that fancy artwork on it. They just have these labels produced and they stick them on the cans. They're more concentrated on what's in the can than spending a ton of money on fancy graphics for the can that's going to go in the trash can after you pour it in the glass. So, thumbs up to those guys for the way they package your beer. I am impressed with the New England style beers that these guys are doing, and even Hoof-Hearted, being in Ohio, not in New England, they're doing this, and some of the others are doing it too. So, it will become a more popular style, guys. It really will, and it really has already. So, very nice, very tasty. Over to rate beer. On this beer, they say 96 world class. I think it's a couple notches better than a 96, but that's still an A beer, a very good number from those guys. And from rate beer has a 99 overall, 96 in the style. Great numbers from those guys. I agree with that. That's where I'm putting it. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 or a 100 is because of the dating. I want to see a date on the can. I don't care if it comes straight from the brewery that's not distributed. Put a can-on date on the bottom of each can. That's what I want to see. You might say, oh, you shouldn't knock it down because of that. Well, you know, that's your opinion. This is my opinion. That's how I feel about it. And over for our final check-in, Untapped has it at 4.26, which is an A category from them. So it's A's all around, guys. This is an A beer. If you can get your hands on the Hoof-Hearted beers, especially, like I said, especially this one's the first one I've ever had from these guys. Awesome beer. Like I said, I've got one more in there to do for you guys, and I got a feeling it's probably going to be just as tasty as this one, and I'll try to get to it within the next day or two, and we'll review it because I want to drink it fresh. So if you've had this from Hoof-Hearted, let me know what you think, guys, and come on back tomorrow. Let's dig something out of the fridge. See you then.